Alex Morgan had always imagined that life after leaving the stars would be quiet. After years of exploring strange planets, flying through asteroid belts, and surviving skirmishes with hostile alien species, he thought he would finally find peace. He lived on a small space station orbiting a peaceful planet on the edge of the Orion cluster. It was not much, just a modest home with enough room for himself and his young son, Ethan. But it was safe. And for the first time, he felt free from the pressures of the galaxy. Ethan was a bright boy of 7, with a curiosity that seemed endless. He loved to watch the stars, sometimes for hours, tracing the paths of distant planets and imagining the creatures that might live on them. "Dad," Ethan would say, "do you think there are other kids out there like me?" Alex usually smiled and shook his head. "Maybe, Ethan. Maybe there are," he would answer. Deep down, he wondered if humanity really was alone in the vast universe. But he didn't tell Ethan about the things he had seen, the alien empires, the battles, the dangerous worlds. That life belonged to the past. One ordinary morning, as Alex prepared breakfast, a loud chime echoed through the small station. The screen on the wall lit up with the image of a small, hovering spacecraft. It was unlike any craft he had seen before. Its smooth, silver surface reflected the dim light of the station, and soft, glowing lines ran along its edges. Alex frowned, wiping his hands on a towel. "Who could that be?" he muttered. The ship's voice was calm, melodic, and a little strange. "Alex Morgan, you are requested for a personal audience. This message is from the Queen of the Stars. She wishes to meet you on her cruiser. This is urgent." Alex dropped the towel. He stared at the screen, unable to speak at first. "The Queen of the Stars?" he said finally. He knew of her. Leora, the ruler of a massive alien empire, had been mentioned in his training manuals and in the briefings of his past missions. Humans rarely interacted with her directly, and those who did often disappeared or never returned. Ethan, who had been watching him quietly, tilted his head. "Mom said she would never come for us," he said. His voice was small, but filled with wonder. "Who is she?" "Dad, she's someone very important." "Ethan," Alex said slowly. He rubbed the back of his neck, feeling a familiar tension creep in. "But why would she want to meet me?" The ship's voice continued without pause. "Your presence is requested immediately. Refusal is not recommended. Prepare to travel to Sector 9X within 3 hours." Alex took a deep breath. He felt a rush of memories, dangerous encounters, the thrill of unknown worlds, the weight of responsibility. But he also felt a pang of fear. "Ethan," he said, "I don't know why she wants me. It could be dangerous." Ethan's eyes shone. "I want you to go, Dad. I think I know why." Alex blinked. He had no idea what his son meant, but he trusted him more than anyone else in the galaxy. "All right," he said finally. "We'll go. But we have to be careful. Very careful." By the time Alex finished packing a few essentials, the ship hovered quietly outside the docking bay. It was elegant, almost alive in the way it moved. Gliding through space like a bird, Alex stepped inside, Ethan clinging to his hand. The interior of the ship was nothing like a human spacecraft. Light pulsed softly along the walls, and the air smelled faintly sweet, almost like flowers. There were no chairs, no screens, only a smooth path that seemed to lead forward on its own. A soft voice spoke again. "Welcome, Alex Morgan. Your journey to the Queen begins now." The ship moved faster than Alex thought possible, slipping through space as if gravity and distance did not exist. He tried to focus on the lights outside, the endless stars that streaked past like ribbons, but his mind kept returning to the message. "The Queen wishes to meet me." Why him? What could a simple human like Alex have that would interest someone as powerful as Leora? Ethan leaned against him, whispering, "Dad, I think she already knows something about us." Alex looked down at him, unsure what to say. Ethan had always been perceptive, but this was different. There was a calm certainty in his eyes, a quiet confidence. "What do you mean?" Alex asked. I think she wants to meet me too, Ethan said softly. I think she knows I chose you. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. He had never heard anything like this before. He knelt to his son's level. Chosen me? For what? Ethan shrugged, but his face was serious. I don't know. But I feel it. Dad. She's waiting for us, and she's expecting something from me too. The rest of the journey was quiet. Alex spent it staring at the stars, trying to remember his training, imagining every possible danger. Yet, through it all, he felt a strange hope. A sense that something extraordinary was about to happen, and Ethan, sitting quietly beside him, seemed completely unafraid, as if he already understood what was coming. Finally, the ship slowed and entered a massive docking chamber aboard the Queen's cruiser. Alex had never seen anything like it. The walls were made of a transparent material that showed the vastness of space beyond. Giant towers of light rose up like trees, and streams of glowing energy pulsed through the air. Alex felt small, insignificant even, yet he also felt a strange pull, as if the entire ship recognized his presence. The air shifted, and a figure appeared at the far end of the chamber. She moved slowly, deliberately, and Alex felt his heart race. The Queen of the Stars was taller than any human he had seen, with skin that seemed to shimmer with soft light. Her eyes were deep and clear, filled with intelligence and curiosity. Her long hair floated slightly as if underwater, and she wore a robe that glowed faintly. She did not speak immediately, only watched him. Ethan tightened his grip on Alex's hand. Dad, he whispered, she's coming to us. The Queen approached slowly, each step deliberate. Alex could see the grace in her movement, the power that radiated from her. He wanted to say something. Anything but words failed him. She stopped a few meters away, and for a moment, there was silence. Finally, she spoke. Her voice was soft, almost musical, yet it carried weight that made Alex feel small. Alex Morgan, she said. You may not understand why I have called you, but your presence is required. You carry qualities that are rare among your kind. Courage, loyalty, and the ability to see beyond immediate danger. Alex swallowed hard. I don't know why you want me. I'm just a simple human, and my son and I live quietly here. The Queen tilted her head, her gaze shifting to Ethan. The boy stood tall, almost as if he were older than his years. And yet, it is he who has chosen, the Queen said, nodding toward Ethan. The bond between you is stronger than most human connections. That bond is what interests me. Alex's mind reeled. Chosen? By his son? And for what purpose? He didn't know, but he could feel something important unfolding. He took a deep breath, trying to steady himself. I don't understand, Your Majesty, but we are here. The Queen's lips curved into a faint smile. You will have your chance to prove yourself. But first, you must walk with me. There is much to see, and much to understand. Alex looked down at Ethan. The boy nodded, a small smile on his face. I'm ready, Dad, he said quietly. Together, father and son followed the Queen deeper into the cruiser, leaving behind the small world they knew. The halls were vast, filled with shimmering lights and strange symbols that seemed to move as they passed. Alex could feel the weight of history around him, the power of a civilization older than Earth itself. And yet, through it all, Ethan remained calm, holding his father's hand, ready for whatever lay ahead. For the first time in years, Alex felt both fear and hope. He didn't know what awaited them, but he knew one thing. This was the beginning of something extraordinary. And whatever it was, he would face it with his son by his side. As they walked, the Queen glanced at Ethan again. He has chosen wisely, she said softly, more to herself than anyone else. The boy knows the value of his father, and through him, humans may yet find a place among the stars. Alex did not fully understand the meaning of her words, but he could feel their truth. Humanity had faced many challenges, and perhaps just perhaps, it still had a role to play in the vastness of the galaxy. And so, the three of them continued through the shining halls of the Queen's cruiser, father, son, and ruler, into a future that was uncertain, dangerous, and full of wonder. The cruiser was larger than anything Alex had ever seen. The halls stretched endlessly, glowing with soft light that seemed to come from the walls themselves. Strange symbols moved gently along the surfaces, changing shape and color as they passed. Alex tried to take it all in, but his mind kept returning to the Queen. She was not like any being he had ever met. Her presence alone seemed to command respect. Not just from him, but from the air around her. Ethan held his father's hand tightly. He was calm, but Alex could feel the excitement beneath the surface. The boy's small steps matched the Queen's graceful strides, as if he had already learned some unspoken rhythm of this alien world. The Queen finally spoke, her voice calm and soft, yet filled with authority. "Alex Morgan, I brought you here because your son has made a choice. It is rare among humans, the way he trusts you completely. That bond is unusual even for your species. It is why I requested your presence." Alex frowned. "I don't understand. What choice? What does he know that I don't?" The Queen turned her gaze to Ethan. The boy looked up at her without fear, his small face serious. "I chose him," Ethan said simply. "I chose my father." Alex blinked. You did? But why?" Ethan shrugged, but his voice was firm. "Because he is brave. Because he is kind. Because he never gave up when things were hard. I trust him. And I know he will do the right thing. You can't see it yet. But I can." The Queen's glowing eyes studied the boy. And for a moment, the room seemed silent. Then she spoke, almost like she was talking to herself. "Indeed. The child's choice is wise. Rarely have I seen such certainty in so small a human." Alex felt a surge of pride and confusion at the same time. His son had chosen him? It was a strange idea, but also comforting. I don't know what to say," Alex murmured. "You need not speak," the Queen said, her voice soft. "Actions will speak. Soon, you will understand your purpose here. For now, you will learn, and your son will guide you." Alex exchanged a glance with Ethan. "Guide me?" he asked. Ethan smiled faintly. "I think she wants me to help you understand this place. And maybe she wants you to understand me too." The Queen nodded slightly and began to walk toward a wide chamber at the center of the cruiser. Alex and Ethan followed, their steps careful on the smooth, glowing floor. The walls on either side shifted and changed as they moved, showing images of distant planets, strange creatures, and vast cities made of crystal and light. Alex's mouth went dry. He had seen many alien worlds, but this was different. This was not just a place. It was a living display of knowledge, power, and history. They reached the center chamber, which opened to a balcony overlooking space. Stars stretched endlessly in every direction, and Alex could see several planets in orbit nearby. One of them was covered in deep blue oceans, with green continents dotted across it. Another was a vast desert world, its surface sparkling under the light of a nearby sun. "This is the Empire," the Queen said, her voice gentle. "It is vast, older than any human history you know. And now, humanity will have a role within it, guided by your son's choice and your own courage." Alex shook his head. "I'm just a man. A simple man. Why would your empire care about someone like me?" The Queen's eyes softened slightly. "You underestimate your species. Humans have a strength that cannot be measured by size or power alone. Courage, empathy, and the ability to act when others hesitate. These qualities make you valuable, and your son sees it already." Ethan tugged at Alex's sleeve. "Dad, she's right. You have done things you didn't even realize mattered. You survived when most wouldn't. You helped people who needed you, even when it was dangerous. That's why I chose you." 17. Alex swallowed hard. He had never thought of his life that way. He had always believed he was just surviving, just doing what had to be done. But hearing it from his son, and from the Queen herself, made him pause. Maybe he was more than he had thought. The Queen's voice drew him from his thoughts. Before you can fully understand your place, you must see the world as we do. Observe, learn, and adapt. The first lesson begins now. Alex glanced at Ethan. Lesson? What kind of lesson? The boy smiled faintly. I think she means you need to understand how our worlds connect, how humans and aliens can work together. She wants you to see things in a new way. See, the Queen gestured, and a small platform rose from the floor. It hovered silently, and Alex and Ethan stepped onto it. The platform lifted into the air, moving smoothly toward the center of the chamber. As it rose, images appeared in front of them, holograms of the Queen's empire, showing fleets of ships, sprawling cities, and strange creatures moving through strange landscapes. These are my people, the Queen said. Each planet, each culture, each being, all are part of a larger whole. And each has a role. Humans, if they are wise, may find a place among them. But first, you must understand our values, our ways, and the importance of choice. Alex watched the images carefully. He had never imagined the galaxy could be so alive, so full of intelligence and design. The creatures moved with purpose, and the cities seemed almost organic, growing like living organisms. He felt small, but also curious, eager to understand. Ethan pointed at one of the holograms, a city built high into the clouds of a gas giant. Look, Dad. See how they work together? Everyone has a job, and they help each other. That's why I knew you could do this. You always help, even when it's hard. Alex smiled faintly. I guess I try. The Queen watched him. You do more than try, Alex Morgan. You act. And action, when guided by wisdom, is what changes worlds. The platform moved again, this time to a view of a distant battlefield. Alex's stomach tightened. He saw ships firing, creatures struggling, and a planet scarred by conflict. What is this? He asked. The Queen's expression was calm. Conflict is a part of life, even among advanced civilizations. But observe carefully. Notice how those who act with courage, who trust their allies, and who honor bonds of loyalty. Notice how they succeed against impossible odds. That is what your son sees in you. 8. Alex swallowed hard. He had lived through battles, but seeing them like this, so distant, yet so clear, made him realize how small actions could change the outcome. Ethan's hand squeezed his, grounding him. You see, Dad? Ethan whispered. Even when things seem impossible, you can make a difference. You always do. The Queen's voice brought him back. Alex, this is only the beginning. The universe will test you. Your son's choice is rare, and it carries responsibility. You must rise to meet it. But first, you must learn to see not just with your eyes, but with your mind and heart. Alex nodded slowly. He felt a weight on his shoulders, but also a strange pride. For the first time in a long while, he felt that perhaps his life, his struggles, and his choices had meaning. The platform descended slowly, returning them to the chamber floor. The Queen stopped in front of Alex and Ethan. You will have many lessons, Alex Morgan, and you will face challenges you have never imagined. But know this: human courage, when guided by love and loyalty, is a force that even my empire respects. Ethan looked up at his father. Dad, we can do this together. You and me. I knew you could. Alex smiled, his heart swelling with emotion. All right, Ethan, together. Whatever comes, we face it together. The Queen nodded, her glowing eyes softening. Very well. Your first task is to observe, to understand, and to trust your own instincts. Tomorrow, we begin the journey that will define your role in the galaxy. Alex glanced at Ethan, who was already looking around the chamber with wide, curious eyes. He realized that his son's choice had set them on a path neither of them had expected, a path that would challenge him, test him, and ultimately show the true value of humanity. For the first time, Alex felt a sense of hope mixed with anticipation. The universe was vast and unknown, but with Ethan by his side, he felt ready to face it. And as they stood together, the Queen watched them both, recognizing that the smallest humans could hold the greatest power, a power not of weapons or technology, but of courage, loyalty, and love. And so, the first day of their journey among the stars ended, quiet, and full of promise. Alex did not yet know what trials awaited him, but he knew one thing: his life and the life of his son was about to change forever. The next morning, Alex woke to the soft hum of the cruiser. The light that filled the room was warm, almost golden, and he could hear Ethan already moving about. The boy had a small smile on his face, as if he had been waiting for this day for a long time. "Morning, Dad," Ethan said, bouncing lightly on the balls of his feet. "Today's the first lesson." Alex rubbed his eyes and yawned. "Lesson? I thought we were just going to learn about the Empire today." Ethan shook his head. "No, Dad. She said we need to start learning by doing. Today, we're going to face our first challenge." Alex's stomach tightened. "Challenge? What kind of challenge?" Ethan shrugged, but his eyes sparkled with excitement. "I don't know, but I think it's something that will show how brave you are." Alex nodded slowly. He had faced danger before, but this was different. This was a test from the Queen herself, and it was meant to measure qualities he had never considered valuable: courage, wisdom, and loyalty. He felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on him, but seeing Ethan's confidence made him feel steady. The Queen appeared in the chamber without warning. Her presence was calm and powerful, as always. "Alex Morgan," she said, "your first trial will begin immediately. You must navigate a series of challenges that test your decision-making, courage, and your ability to protect those you care about. Your son may guide you, but you must act on your own instincts." Alex swallowed hard. "All right, I understand. What do I need to do?" The Queen gestured, and a wide door opened in the wall. Beyond it lay a room unlike any Alex had seen. The floor was a smooth, reflective surface, and walls of light formed shifting shapes. Holographic projections appeared, showing strange landscapes filled with obstacles, creatures, and pathways. "This is a simulation," the Queen explained. "It will respond to your choices. Every action you take will affect the outcome. Trust your mind, your heart, and your son's guidance." Ethan tugged at Alex's sleeve. "Don't worry, Dad. I'll be with you the whole time. We can do this together." Alex nodded and stepped forward. The floor beneath them shimmered, and the first landscape appeared. It was a rocky canyon with jagged cliffs and narrow paths. Strange creatures lurked in the shadows, watching silently. "Remember," Ethan whispered, "you have to think, not just act. But you also have to be brave. You've done this before, even if it was dangerous in a different way." Alex took a deep breath and started moving carefully through the canyon. The creatures in the shadows did not attack at first, but their glowing eyes followed every step. Alex could feel the tension building. Each step required him to balance caution with speed, thinking about every decision before making it. Suddenly, a chasm appeared before them, too wide to jump. Alex froze. "What now?" he whispered. Ethan pointed to a ledge above. "Look." Alex glanced at the ledge. It was narrow, and the rocks seemed fragile. One wrong move could mean a fall. But he also knew that hesitation could be worse. He tightened his grip on the wall, tested the rocks with his foot, and began to climb carefully. His heart pounded, and sweat ran down his face. But step by step, he moved forward, guided by instinct and Ethan's quiet instructions. When he reached the top, he paused to catch his breath. Ethan climbed up beside him, smiling. See? I knew you could do it. Alex managed a small laugh. Thanks, buddy. I couldn't have done it without you. The canyon disappeared, and the next scene appeared a forest filled with glowing plants. Strange noises filled the air, and shadows moved between the trees. Suddenly, a creature leapt from the shadows. It was tall, with long limbs and glowing eyes. It moved fast, faster than Alex had expected. Alex instinctively grabbed Ethan and pulled him behind a tree. The creature circled them, sniffing the air. Alex realized that he had a choice: fight it, run, or try to outsmart it. He remembered the Queen's words, "Trust your instincts." He noticed the creature's attention was on the bright flowers nearby. Alex picked a glowing flower and tossed it in the opposite direction. The creature followed it immediately, leaving them safe. That was smart. "Dad," Ethan whispered, "you didn't have to fight it. You just used your head." Alex nodded. "Sometimes brains are stronger than fists, right?" The forest faded, and the final scene appeared: a vast, open plain with several humans and aliens trapped under collapsing structures. Alex's heart tightened. These were projections, but they felt real. He could see the fear in their eyes, the urgency of the situation. Ethan tugged at his sleeve. "Dad, you have to help them. You can do it." Alex felt a surge of determination. He ran toward the trapped beings, looking for a way to free them. The structures were heavy, and some paths were blocked. He lifted debris, called out instructions, and worked quickly. Slowly, he managed to free each person, guiding them to safety with Ethan by his side. Finally, when the last person was safe, the simulation ended. The room returned to normal, the holograms disappearing. Alex leaned against the wall, breathing heavily, but feeling a sense of accomplishment. The Queen appeared again, her eyes glowing softly. "Well done, Alex Morgan. You have shown courage, intelligence, and the ability to protect others. These qualities are rare, and they are what make you valuable to my empire." Alex nodded, still catching his breath. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I didn't know what to expect, but I did my best." The Queen's gaze shifted to Ethan. "Your son has guided you wisely. It is his intuition that allowed you to succeed. The bond between father and son is extraordinary. Rarely have I seen such clarity in a human child." Ethan smiled proudly. "I told you, Dad. I knew you could do it." Alex ruffled his son's hair. "You're right, buddy. We did it together." The Queen's eyes softened. "Tomorrow, your trials will continue. You will face challenges that test not only your skills, but your values. But today, you have proven that humans, even simple humans, can rise to greatness when guided by loyalty and love." Alex nodded slowly. He realized that the Queen's challenges were not just tests of strength or courage. They were tests of humanity, of compassion, intelligence, and the bonds that connected him to his son. He had never thought of himself as a hero, but now he could see that even ordinary humans could achieve extraordinary things. Ethan leaned against his father. "Dad, we're going to keep doing this, right? Together?" Alex smiled. "Yes, Ethan, together. No matter what comes next." The Queen stepped back, her glow softening. "Rest now. The trials will grow more difficult, but you will face them with your son at your side. Remember, true strength is not in power alone, but in the courage to act when it matters most." As Alex and Ethan walked back to their quarters, Alex felt a mixture of exhaustion and excitement. The first trial had been difficult, but it had also shown him something important: that humanity had a place in the galaxy, not because of weapons or technology, but because of courage, intelligence, and love. He looked at Ethan, who was already chattering about the next day's challenges. Alex laughed quietly. "All right, buddy. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Whatever it is, we'll face it together." Ethan nodded enthusiastically. "Yes. Together, Dad. Always together." That night, Alex lay in his small bed, thinking about the day's events. He realized that the Queen's empire was vast and complex, but humans had something special, something that could not be measured by size, speed, or strength. It was their ability to care, to think, and to act with courage when it mattered most. For the first time in a long while, Alex felt a spark of hope. Humanity was not alone. And with Ethan by his side, he could face any challenge, no matter how great. The stars outside the cruiser glimmered quietly, a reminder of the vast universe waiting beyond. Alex closed his eyes, feeling a sense of purpose he had never known before. The first trial had passed, but the journey was only beginning. And together, father and son would show the galaxy what humans were truly capable of.